like it's you against us right now.
Yeah,
you know,
that's how it feels like in society every day.
You're right.
And then, of course, Nicole, how's business?
It's good. It's really good.
You started a couple new projects.
Yeah, and to be honest with you guys, it's like you said, interacting with people and just seeing all this craziness that's going on. And you're right. There's a lot of R. Kelly's out there.
I'm telling you, yo.
Do you encounter the R. Kellys while you're doing business? Do you have any unique challenges as a woman doing business?
I mean, I have a very different view on it. I mean, of course, I'm not for the whole thing. You know, I wasn't really impressed when I found out. But at the same time, I always try to understand people, maybe had a crazy childhood, maybe some traumatic things happened to them. So I wish people would reach out and help more instead of just criticizing and just putting people down, which again, I don't agree. I'm
what
fully
R. Kelly
against
did. You don't agree with R. Kelly did allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Wink, wink, allegedly.
There's actually 3 tapes, and I was there. One time he peed on me when I was 9, but that's besides the point. In this country, we are innocent until proven guilty, except in the court of public opinion. Though. And R. Kelly has not been convicted of any crimes yet. This nigga's gone. He's gone, bro. Yo, he's at this point.
You know.
Who hasn't he molested?
She raises a great, phenomenal point.
Yeah.
So if we put this effort that we put into media bashing,
and
into
use that as a positive platform,
training, for people, we might see less of these occurrences.
Yes.
You know what? Here's the thing I want people to understand, though. It's not like this stuff is new. So we always love to blame a lot of our problems on social media, and we like to say, oh, we perpetuate these things, or violence. There was no rap music during the 20s, but there were mafias, right? And there was constant shootings in the street. Where did they get it from? So we love pointing fingers at things that are new. We love saying,
actually, the rappers stole their swag from the mobsters.
But exactly, during that whole
blame the
movement.
mobsters.
Yeah. So the concept is violence and, unfortunately, sexual misconduct is nothing new to humanity.
Yeah.
Now we're just actually calling it out, and people are getting upset because we're calling it out. But you know what? As a guy, I know I've been a piece of shit, or I might not have acted on it, but I've thought piece of shit things. And so there are guys out there that don't know how to control their urges or control their thoughts.
That goes back to what I was saying.
And that's the problem. That's where it goes. We need to program all of us and just change our ways of thinking.
Exactly what I was trying to say. Find out the root of the problem and try to go from there instead of just being ha ha.
Yeah, penises. You know what I mean? Penises are the root of the problem, bro.
You know what comes to mind? The sexual harassment training in schools. Thinking back on it, I don't believe there was enough real life application.
Hold on, you had sexual harassment training in school?
We did.
I never.
I didn't.
I never.
I never
Sexual
did.
harassment training.
Yeah,
in school.
it's a real thing.
What grade were you in?
So that happened when I was in, I think, a sophomore in high school.
I might have just not went to class.
Do I look like I'm not from here?
I mean, I'm not from here. I moved here when I was 12, so that's why I'm I didn't get that training.
That's amazing that you had that. I never had training
I never
like
got
that.
Wow.
I never had training like that. I just had sense and raising and had parenting like that. So it was just different.
I think a good mom changes a lot.
Yeah.
See, I get my etiquette with women from my mom. You know, she taught me. She was very hands-on with me, and that has made all the difference in my life. Shout out, Mom, if you're watching on Facebook. Mom.
Yo, your mom is amazing. By the way, you have an amazing mom. And we've been blessed with wonderful parents that hopefully raise their children right, even though we might not act like it all the time. But the concept is a lot of it has to do with education. So would you both be in favor of sexual harassment training and sexual misconduct training in schools?
For sure.
Yeah, because it's preventative. And if I feel like if you don't know about something, how can you prevent it from happening? You know?
Exactly.
So if you have the proper education and say, okay, this is probably not the best way to go about this, then.
And honestly, with social media being so big and kids are just on it now, and so you have to teach them everything. Especially now that they can get on and meet random people. So when it comes to sexual harassment or meeting up with strangers, anything like that, I would definitely teach my kids.
Good point. Because
because that's very big. That's how a lot of young girls are kidnapped, or some guy comes and says, "Oh, I love you," and then they fall in love, and the next thing you know, they're missing for ever, and God forbid they don't get found. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do.
That's a valid
point.
Let
them know. Yeah.
Back in my grandfather's day. When people would talk,
Jiva, your grandfather Jiva,
they would fight it out.
Yeah.
They would fight it out physically.
Yeah.
Now people think online, I could hide behind a screen name or username and I can't be held accountable.
Anonymous.
You're anonymous. But the truth is, sexual harassment can and does and continues to happen online. Yeah. And that's the
much
other
more,
aspect
even
of it.
more. Actually, I recently got attacked with racist comments because I defended a very good friend of mine from sexual comments that were placed on her Instagram.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. And I'm going to tell you something. Not only is it the root of a lot of hate, I also believe it's the root of homophobia. The root of homophobia is the fear from men that other men will treat them the way we treat women.
Rewind that. Break that down.
I can see your point.
He's on to something. Okay, so homophobia is a fear that other men will treat a straight man the way that straight men treat women.
Exactly. Like, think about what the homophobic straight man, quote unquote, is afraid.
Wow.
Oh, why is he looking at me? Why are you checking me out?
What
are you looking at? What are you doing?
That is profound.
What are you doing right
I
now?
haven't heard that one before.
No, that's really true.
But I agree with it 110%.
Yeah, what are you doing right now? You're doing the same thing. You're objectifying a woman, and you're afraid that a gay male will objectify you, and so you're extremely afraid of that sexual.
They think they get the free pass.
Exactly.
You don't get the free pass.
And
you
so,
can't do that if you're scared of it. Then why are you doing it yourself?
That's so true.
How many times would you say, very honestly, you feel that you are sexually harassed in a day, in a 24-hour period? Realistically.
If I go outside, I'm just kidding. No, but honestly, as soon as you go outside, and it's, to me, I hate it because it's if they try to talk to you and then you don't respond, automatically you're the B word, or you know what, F you then. I wasn't going to talk to you anyways. It's like now all of a sudden, because I'm not speaking back, now it's a problem. And sometimes it gets scary. Like if it's nighttime or you're by yourself, like you have to really watch your back. And I don't think most men
or
realize.
They're black or Hispanic. Very scared. No, because it's not like, I feel like no one's looking at like, no one's walking down the street and there's a Jewish guy going, hey, and everyone's afraid. Like, I just don't feel that's the level of fear commitment, you know?
I haven't seen a Jewish man catcall before.
I have. Yep. It's just, I just don't think anyone was specifically afraid of Avi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like Jerome, Jamal, Jorge, run for your life. Like, there are times where I'm afraid. Like, what would you do, George? What would you do? You are, let's cross. Let's get Tina. I should know that name. That's my sister's name. So, Tina.
Shout out to Tina. Shout out little sis.
Tina, who's in love with George, by the way. Tina, who, not you, my sister.
Oh, okay.
You and George are dating, okay? And George, you're with Tina and a guy, like I'm talking about Debo. I'm talking about cut. You know, he just got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? He comes up to Tina, is like, "Yo, what's up, bitch? You trying to fuck her? Nah. What are you doing as her man?
What are you doing?
Here's the problem.
Yeah,
I would love to know.
I'm fighting.
You're fighting?
I'm fighting, and what would suck about that is I'd probably have to lose.
You have to die.
I'd have to lose, but I don't. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
He said, "Tag team him, babe. Tag team him."
She got my back.
Spirit fingers. You're definitely gonna die.
And that's actually part of the problem that men create for other men.
Yeah.
So as a man, then we create our own little subset of standards within our male community, where we have toxic masculinity, that you have to fight with your hands instead of your words, or you have to prove your toughness.
Yeah, sometimes you got to punch a person in the face, bro.
Yeah, and
sometimes you really do.
Or slap. Teron prefers a slap.
I'm a slap in the face.
So
I rather kick.
I admittedly am a product of that. So I would feel invalidated if I stood there and let someone talk to her like that. Half of it's because I have a little sister and I don't play that. So you go up to my little sister. And the other half of it is I feel like to prove now that my manhood, that I have to fight him. And that's not always right too. You know, a better situation would be to grab Tina by hand and tell the man kindly, you know what, you really need to re-examine your words and just walk off and drop the mic. That would be a better way of doing it. But I would
need to re-examine your words?
Yeah.
Actually,
something
you know what?
like
that's
that,
such a
though.
classy
I like
thing to do.
Right.
Honestly,
I like that.
if you did that, I'd beat your ass. Like, even if I was there, I'd turn around and be like, what? Yeah. I will say this. I find it very interesting that men don't respond to no, but do respond to, I have a boyfriend. A lot of girls who are single,
We have to lie.
Use a lie and say, I have I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
have a boyfriend, because the guy can't comprehend
Yeah, he won't
no
stop.
means no.
Have y'all ever tried something just so abrupt, like, yo, you're whack? Yo,
No,
look
I've
at your
literally
shoes.
I'm
said,
gay.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's what's up. Me too.
Hold on.
Oh, you've gotten that?
You're not gay?
No, I'm not.
Oh, crazy. So what were you saying? I'm so sorry. It was the vibes.
Because she's a tomboy.
The vibes. It was the yo, what's up? My name's Tina. Like, it was the vibes. It was the vibes. I have an affinity towards all people, and especially our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
I'm a strong supporter, as is George. And so I just felt a vibe. I don't know.
Right? But that's what I love about her. She's
Yeah.
like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. We do not force you to do
There's
anything.
no forcing of anything here.
We are fans of consent.
Yes.
We just kindly.
Yeah, just
I have no
either
filter,
or.
though. Is that
so
okay?
it's
Just
That's
kidding.
what we. That's
black
all we
and
do.
white. You gotta pick one. There's no gray area answer that exists.
Okay.
So if it's a little tough, take a second to think about it, and no pressure. We may or may not psychoanalyze you based on your answer.
Okay.
Okay, George.
Studs or hoop earrings?
That's a tough one. Depends on the day.
I know. It depends what she looks like.
Yeah. So the game is either or.
I would say studs.
I'm more of a hoop girl.
Yeah. Studs and hoop girl. Interesting, George.
Goes together well. huh?
George.
Studs. Okay. So you don't like to carry too much baggage.
Facts.
You also maybe don't like to over show your emotions to people who you don't feel have broken the circle of trust yet and
That's a
gotten
new day
inside
of
of
the
it.
Okay.
George. It's the new day of
feel like
Mr.
he's
George
reading
Corey.
my
It's a new
palm
day
right
in
now.
GK, you know what I mean? So the studs is just a statement and representation of, hey, we're on the surface until I know you a little more. Tina's
Okay.
more of an open book, more expressive, more likely to pop off on somebody saying, I don't care if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and put them in place.
Interesting.
And the dangle of the hoops symbolizes her willingness to go there.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's
Takes the
Yeah.
earring off before she fights.
That's
That's a great
actually really good.
I like
I'm
that
impressed.
reading. I like that reading.
Thank you,
Mr.
Toronto.
George Corey. I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna take it in a different direction. To me, studs for Nicole means there was a time you hooped. You had some kind of inkling. You were struggling between which one. You even made the comment, depends on what she looks like. Then you realize, no, I'm going with studs because now this is a new day for Nicole. It's a mature Nicole. It's one who has a past or a history, and you have dated guys who you probably shouldn't have dated in the past. But now you're looking for something new. You're looking for something new in a relationship. You're more mature. You're looking for the one instead of the one.
The regular.
Or a couple
Just kidding.
nights. Yeah. With Tina, she is a lesbian. And here's the thing about this. Right? She's wearing her hoop earrings.
Dating a guy right
now. I watch a lot of Jerry Springer. That means nothing. There's a lot of...
Lesbian.
I think you want her to
Yeah.
be
No,
because she's
it's
so
just-
fine. Like,
Yo.
you want her to be.
Tina.
Well, if
no.
you want to speak factually, I have a track record of dating lesbians.
Do you
That's
really?
actually a good
Yeah.
call. They
Oh, wow.
definitely-
But I'm
Okay,
usually
lesbian,
I'm usually
I
the
would
last guy that they
totally
date
put it
before
out
they
there.
change.
George makes
Oh,
them
really?
lesbians.
So I don't know what that means.
So that's why I'm shipping this
Okay.
concept. No, Tina, what it really comes down to is that Tina is not afraid of conflict. She's not afraid of communicating her feelings and thoughts, even if it's not exactly the right and appropriate time to do so. She is a person who speaks up and speaks out for others, even herself, but especially for others. She is a fan of the underdog. And it comes down
You guys
in the
are
hoops.
psychic.
Here's the thing about the hoops.
We are
She's got
psychic.
she's maintaining poise, but she's got a little bit of ratchet. I don't judge, Tina. I do not judge.
Neither do I. And
I wear a
love
bathrobe. I
lesbians.
don't judge.
I know.
Big dick, dickhead, dick, but kind soul.
Depends what day it is. You know, I'm just being honest. Like,
there are
I
no
feel like-
contingencies either or, please.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll take the little.
If you
If
would.
you
I'll
want.
take the little one with the good heart because sex gets old after a while. Like, it doesn't matter how good it is. After a while, it's like there's only so many positions you can try.
That's why we cheat. Yeah.
Right.
What?
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I feel like all men cheat. But for me, for sure, it would have to be whatever penis or dick.
It's You have to say it.
Dick. And good heart.
Kind soul.
Kind soul. It's going to make me breakfast in the morning.
Well, seeing that I don't like dick. No, I'm joking. No,
Be honest.
maybe if I was like 21, I would take the big dick.
Yeah.
But like now, I'm definitely going to go with quality over small dick.
Dick.
Good guy.
It's not even about the size. It was more about the ness of it, you know?
But you can teach them. You know, and honestly,
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, buddy.
But can I say this on air? Your mouth still works, you know?
What that mouth do?
You know, what that mouth
Okay,
do.
I'm going to take that note down for my analysis, by the way. Noted.
Okay.
You know,
George, would you like to begin?
Oh, this is a fairly easy psychoanalysis for me, as you're both totally in sync with the universe. And I believe that the universe brought you together as friends because although you have a difference in personalities, you live by the same principles. And the underlying principle for both of you is...
what that mouth do. That is the underlying principle.
Exactly.
And
which goes back to
we
us being
appreciate
lesbian.
that. We understand what that mouth do is a defining principle of many people. It is a unifying one. In fact, there would be less ISIS and white extremists if what that mouth do worked. If more mouths, dude, then we'd have less.
And don't talk.
Can I finish? I had an itch in my beard. I made sure I didn't go like this before I said, "Can I finish?" While he's talking. It's just a funny joke.
Rubbing his face.
So the point is that for you two, it's about the person and not what they want to project to be in society, but who they are at the end of the day and the principles they abide by. And if their principles line up with your principles, that person is a lot more likely to have a connection with you both than someone coming along, putting on a show, maybe even doing things that satisfy you, okay, whether it's with their mouth or beyond. But at the end of the day, it's really how you treat people. And you two understand this and live by this. And that's why I have a mutual respect for the both of you. Respect, spirit fingers. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Turan?
Yeah. Well, my analysis, let me explain. First of all, I find both of you to be extremely highly competent, intelligent young people with strong senses of responsibility and kindness. You are ambitious, hardworking, and value work ethic and success.
Preach.
You both also used to be hoes. And this is how this works, right?
Oh my
both
God.
of y'all were like, if you were 21, you would have took big
God.
dick.
Because when you're young,
Big
you don't
dick
care
would have
about...
been the answer. Like, they would have just been like, big dick.
Because you're
Trying
just
to get
having a
that
good
sling the
time. It
dick
doesn't matter, you know?
Sling it.
That's
just
obnoxious.
slang.
But it's like when you have big dick and then you have like regular dick, honestly, that's when you realize like regular dick but good heart is way better than big dick.
Because you've grown
No
up,
heart.
you've matured.
Yeah, because like I've had
It's
big
time.
dick with no heart. and
Yeah,
it's
but
not
see,
the
you
same.
could have had Ed Dick Kind Soul when you were young when it counted.
Yeah,
But no,
and I
you know
would
how many
totally be
Tims
dismissive.
and Toms and Tonys you guys passed up for Jamal and Jerome and,
So they were
and
all
Raheem?
trash. They were all
Was
trash. Yeah.
That's because you didn't even give Tim the time of day. Tim was the best friend that was like, hey Tina, are you studying later? And you're like, oh, hey Tim, oh, it's great. No, me and Jamal are gonna fuck. And it was like, no.
What is
Well,
wrong
I
with you,
just wish there was
Turan?
a balance. Can we have both?
Yo.
Can we have a guy with a big dick
Right.
that has a heart? Why do I have
It's
to
tough.
pick? Like life's about balance.
It's hard to
It's a
find.
difficult thing. Let's get
Difficult to
into
find.
your crushes.
Okay, wait. I have one. Don't laugh.
Yeah,
He's not attractive anymore.
that's even better.
Yeah, that makes for a
not.
more entertaining
Okay,
show.
don't laugh because he's not attractive. But I love the way he is as a man, and just I don't know. Have you ever seen Smart Guy? The dad on Smart Guy
No,
from like
I
the
haven't.
90s.
I haven't.
The
seen that
dad,
show.
the tall light skinned dad.
Yeah.
it's the kid who was like a genius
Yeah,
12-year-old,
yeah. And he had
his
his-
dad. He looked like the guy from hanging with Mr. Cooper, but it wasn't. That
Yeah.
dad, the light skinned dad. Okay,
He's
he actually
amazing.
looks very similar.
Does
still.
he?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
okay.
does.
Oh, thank you. Because he
Tina?
was my crush for the longest.
What was the show that LL Cool J played on?
The next door neighbor one.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think like if I was like a child
Yeah.
looking at that, so I
LL
mean,
Cool J was
I
the
thought
crush?
that he was like cute. Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't have chapstick. He's busy licking his lips.
Had the
you know?
one leg wrapped up. Remember that?
Yeah, of course. That was
Oh my
LL.
God.
LL.
So LL Cool J.
I feel like a lot of people have had a crush on LL because his name is Ladies Love.
Ladies love Cool
I
J.
mean, hello.
Actually,
He
we
just
were
knew
at
it when he named
a
himself.
Def Jam event, and Sasha, who is young, very good friend of mine, she was like, "Oh my God, that's LL Cool J." Still, like LL's like 74. He's been on NCIS.
74?
He's been on NCIS for
I feel
109 years.
I feel like Drake's gonna grow into an LL Cool J
Oh,
vibe.
Drake.
Like he's
Drake's-
gonna forever be desired.
Yeah. See, Tina,
crazy.
that's when Tina was taking big dick.
Am I like-
and
Wow,
kind
used
soul.
to.
That's a treat.
I'm sorry, Gucci
Drake.
Mane hurt your heart.
I know. Let's get into popping or
Shots
stopping.
fired right now, I feel.
I don't
you
know.
know?
Honestly, it might be the brat, bro. It might have been the brat. Might have been.
Not the brat.
You should have asked that question, but just
You
say,
call her
whose
Stephanie?
mom did you have a
I
crush
call her
on?
Everman.
That would have been a good question.
Yo, popping or
That would be
stopping.
better.
You know what
Every-
I had an answer for that.
Every week we ask about a trend that men do, and we want to know your popular opinion. This week's, and we say popping or stopping. So popping is good, stopping is stop. This week's trend,
Ripped jeans.
ripped jeans.
How ripped?
Ooh,
Ripped.
that's ripped. We're going with ripped.
No, because I've seen some ripped ones where, like, when they're gonna sit down, I'm worried something's gonna pop out.
Yeah,
So-
like their butt cheek.
No,
Not even
like
the
right
penis.
here.
Wait, they got
Like
their
their
ass
Arabian
out?
sand snake might pop out.
I prefer.
Are we talking about ripped in the front?
Just
That's
ripped
what I'm
jeans.
saying.
Like, when people wear ripped jeans, are you
not mad at
liking
it.
that with men?
I'm not mad at it.
If it's not too big and holes,
There are too ripped. There are some jeans that are too ripped.
then no.
You know what sucks? I had these like small rips in my jean, and I wear a size 14 shoe, so I have big feet, which means I have a big heart. And
Okay.
as I was putting my jeans on, my foot slid through.
Oh,
and
man.
it expanded
happens to me
the
all the
rib.
time.
That happens to people, so it's not
Yeah.
just me.
Did you fall?
I fell too.
Did you still wear the
God,
jeans?
I wanted
Yeah,
to
I wore
see
them.
Did you still wear them?
I wore them because back then my checks weren't coming in, so I had no choice.
It's funny having an immigrant parent and wearing ripped stuff because they're like, "What the?
You're a
what's
street
wrong
person.
with you?"
You
No,
pay
they're like,
for that?
"Well, I came from Iran
Yeah.
for you to wear ripped. We could have just stayed in Iran."
Dude, that happened to
That's
me when my
real.
grandma came here to visit from Iran. She's like, "Why do you guys wear ripped clothes?" I'm like, "This is the style right now."
Like you pay money for
Like
that?
we look poor
Like-
because it's cool.
Like, why are you paying for that?
Let's get into the question from a listener. Every week we have a listener ask us a question. They send in questions. You can email us your questions at
Imperfectgshow@gmail.com.
We appreciate each and every one of your questions. If we do not read your question, it doesn't mean that we did not read your question from the email. We select them at random. Please
We'll eventually get
understand.
to it.
Raquel 1112 asks,
I'm dating a guy and I feel like I'm always begging for his attention. I know he's working. He has his own company that is starting to get big, and he says he is busy. I can't tell if he wants to spend time with me or not. He says he does. Last week, he got mad because he said, I am trying to make him lose focus. What should I do? Is he cheating on me?
I don't know. I've had both scenarios where they are and they're not. So, but my opinion, I think that she should focus on herself more because I feel that when you seek attention from another human being, it's because it's something that you need to work on with yourself.
Facts.
So when you're always like, call me, text me, it's like there's something that you need to fill and you need to figure out what that is. Now, as far as him cheating or not, you can't really control what other people do. You can only do what you can and hope for the best. But my best advice to her would be just focus on you. And whenever he has time, he has time. But if she's busy too, she's not going to notice that he's so busy. Because
Wow.
it's going to be
Exactly.
like,
Brilliant.
bars.
it's going to be like
You know
both
what?
busy.
Let's just end
Let's
the show
just
right
end
now.
it there. I just
Thank
want
you
to
guys.
end it
This is
there.
perfect.
I feel
Yeah,
like maybe she's like trying to find some fulfillment from him, and she has to work
Yeah.
on herself.
Figure it
And
out.
you can't
Exactly.
find that from somebody else. And also,
It's a thing about, she said something very key. He has his own company and he's working. men are notoriously not good at multitasking. It's actually a biological, it's a anthropological fact. We're not good at multitasking. Our brains don't work, which is why we're so good at compartmentalizing. As a person who's working on a concept of destiny, the average person gets a job, they work 9 to 5, they clock in at 9, they clock out at 5.
Work
they're done with
when they get home.
When they get home, they're not thinking about their work. When you have a company, when you're working on a brand, when you're working on creating a fulfillment, a destiny, you're a Kevin Hart or you're a Steve Jobs. You don't clock in and clock out. This becomes your life mission. And you've been doing this longer than you've been dating whoever it is. It's been something that's been bubbling and boiling in your mind and your soul. And your priority is this. Now, I'm not saying she doesn't have a point. You should feel wanted. You should feel appreciated. However, if you choose to be with a person like this, then be ready for actions like this. Because George says something all the time, especially when he's had to step in with girls who've been upset at me. He says something to them. He's like, the same things that made you like him, now you hate.
You hate him for.
That's true.
They're attracted to Tehran because he's a popular comedian, and they end up hating Tehran.
Because he's a popular comedian.
Yeah, but it's, come on.
Came with it.
Yeah.
Like I'm working on I don't get to clock in. I don't get to clock out. When I'm in a zone, especially when you're a creative, you're in this focus zone where you're just creating. And to the average person or to the untrained eye, it may not look like you're doing something, but you are.
Yeah.
Because your wheels of stuff doesn't just happen. It doesn't come out. When you hear a song by Drake or one by Prince, he didn't just wake up and it happened.
Some guys don't like when you make more money than them because then you don't need them. And when you don't need them, what are they? Because men like to feel needed. Because that's like the male ego, right?
Yeah, well, how about guys? Maybe work on your personality. Maybe she might like you for your personality, not your money.
Right. And so I feel that's the problem. Guys say they want a woman who's focused and successful, but only to a certain level. If you do better than them, they don't like that.
Wow. And to touch on both your points,
they don't like that.
Both Tina and you, Nicole, brought this up, is you mentioned that this is pre-existing. This void you may be feeling, Raquel. You know how in medicine and health, they have pre-existing conditions?
Yeah.
Well, Raquel, it sounds like you have a pre-existing void. Your void was there before you met this man.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're trying to fill the
For
void through programming him to adhere to how you emote, but he has his own system.
Find someone else.
Respect it.
Honestly, I understand. Sometimes you can be correct, but you're not right. You're correct. Then don't try to impress it on him. Because one thing I read right here is this. Read this part again. Last week he got mad because
he said, "I'm trying to make him lose focus."
That's a very detailed thing. When a guy's like, "Yo, I'm focused right now." This isn't cheating. This is him trying to do work because you want to live in that mansion and have all that stuff too, right? So you need to let him do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he will resent you forever if you don't. And in the beginning, we have a lot more patience and tolerance than towards the end. Because at the end, you've worn it all. Like there's a point where you've worn, and this isn't gender specific. This is to any man or woman who's out there. Because a lot of celebrity women have a hard time being in relationships. A lot of CEO women have a hard time being in relationships. If you remember the Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
She had a hard.
Yes.
She was working on a second, and he was upset because she was busy. Well, that's how it works.
And Raquel, we're not bashing you. We want you to see the reality of his situation. No. but when you ask, is he cheating on me? Not based on the evidence you provide or the things you provided, right? You may feel that for other reasons. But if this is a reason that you think someone's cheating on you because they're trying to make themselves better and their business better, that's not a clue.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I really don't think he's cheating.
Yo,
You know?
I don't know if he's cheating or not, but I'll say I like two things that you said specifically, Nicole. If you said first, Raquel, if you were busier, you wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice
how busy he is because you wouldn't have time either. And number two, so if you were working on your destiny, you would also be busy, right? Yeah. And number two, something you said, which is why I feel that at that time, Will and Jada worked out so well because they were both so busy.
Yeah.
They were both so busy that they valued the time they spent together. And then they made concessions later when they both achieved where they what they wanted to achieve.
Amen.
And secondly, I really like when you said something like you can't control a person if they're cheating. Like it doesn't matter if they have no job, people with no job and people with hella jobs cheat or don't cheat.
If he doesn't have a job, he has more free time.
I feel like why is it always a broke dude with no job, no whip, no place?
Because he's the one with the big dick.
He's the one
with the big dick.
He's
the one with the big dick. The guy with no job.
Big dick, dickhead.
No future.
100%.
You know why? Because he has no job because he survived based on
here's
being
the thing.
well endowed.
That's how he got fed. That's how he found a place to stay.
You should be allowed to put cheating on your resume. Because,
you should be.
Because it's amazing. First of all, I've always wondered when guys cheat, like when they have a whole secret family, when they have a whole other emotional relationship.
Man,
it's not even
crazy.
smashing. I'm talking about emotional relationships with other girls. Where did you find the time? You're an amazing multitasker. The money, your finances are amazing. Dating 2, 3, 4 women is not cheap.
That just proves to you that
bro.
guys can multitask.
No, they cannot.
They can only multitask on the things they like to.
It's only one guy. His name's Trevor.
Oh
He's a promoter.
Who's Trevor?
He works at Hyde. Like that's the thing. That's the problem. It's like
Call you Trevor.
Yo,
Call
guys,
you Trevor. It ain't
guys,
Tyrone.
girls will
Trevor.
date one specific guy and be like, that's how all guys. No, Tim is out there. Nice guy, kind of
Tim.
overweight.
Hi, Tim.
Watches
Tim,
anime
call
on
me.
his couch. Sweetest
Timothy,
guy
Tim
ever.
can call me.
Yo.
It's Timothy.
It could be a Bob. I don't care.
Let's get into a quick sharing is caring. We all know secrets, and sharing secrets is the best way to have people know about you. Okay. We pick a sharing is caring moment, something we would love for you to share and share with others so that they can relate. Rudest thing a guy you didn't know ever said to you.
Whoa.
Oh my God. I know of. Okay, so no disrespect to the gay lesbian community, but this guy was like, "Oh, you look like a tran." I'm like, "What? Is that an insult?" Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to get offended or something. And he's like, "You look like a transsexual." I'm like, "Okay, I take that as a compliment."
A guy who was hitting on you said this?
Like some random dude got mad because I didn't want to talk back.
After you rejected him.
Yeah, after I rejected him. But to me, I'm like, that's not an insult if you're trying to insult me.
I mean, it depends on which one. Do you look like Caitlyn Jenner or one of these
No, he was
transgender
talking
people
like
from Thailand? Because,
Thailand.
whoa, it's
Caitlyn
like,
Jenner
sheesh.
looks great.
I think he was talking about the ones that do
No.
like the crazy walks.
I had a similar situation, and I'm tall, like I'm 5'10" and a quarter. So when I wear heels, I'm like 6'3". I was standing at a bar, and this guy was like, "Oh, were you born a woman?" And I was like, "What?" And then he was just like, "Oh, my friend told me if you're over like 5'10", you got to ask
That's
the girl if
so
she's
stupid.
like really a woman." I was like, "You should slap your friend in the face." And
You should slap your friend. But honestly, I live in West Hollywood. That's actually a valid question now that I think about it. Man, I've been going about it the wrong way.
But it's like, don't come as an
I'm
insult.
not saying
like,
that's a
ask
person
me,
that you
know
turn
what I
down.
mean?
I'm just saying that's a valid, like at that
But your
point.
height shouldn't determine.
But that's how you lead. Like, if you thought you were gonna get some pussy, you just walked.
You just killed it.
Talked yourself out.
You just
of
killed it.
I'm just
But
saying.
you know
Like,
what?
you think I'm
Men-
gonna just give you?
What if that guy was looking for someone who was born a man, and that's why
Then-
specifically was looking? So now you're
That-
judging his sexual preference.
No, that wasn't the case.
I don't think
You know what
so.
I'm saying?
But
You don't
I'm
know.
not
I love
judging.
giving people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to men, Tehran. I don't know.
No. He was a piece of shit. I'm just
There are two
Throwing
types
out
of men,
concepts.
right? There's a type of man who's more scared of being rejected than he is of not getting the pee. And then there's a type of man who's more scared of not getting the pee than he is getting rejected. And those are the guys who keep going and don't stop no matter what you throw at them.
Yeah, man. Guys
Wow.
are.
Guys can be
Interesting.
horrible, but that's why we have the show, and that's why we appreciate you guys being on the show. Let's get into our topic. Our topic this week is going to relate, and we hate clickbait. We hate clickbait, but you have to talk about this right now.
It's
Jordyn Woods,
unignorable.
Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian. The whole cheating. Is Jordyn Woods lying? First of all, we're going to actually talk about the topic itself. And the real topic, can your friends be friends with your ex and or so much more? So let's talk about, are you both familiar with the Jordyn Woods,
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson,
And no,
Khloe Kardashian
you cannot
fiasco?
be friends with my ex.
I think a guy is not even gonna try to kiss you unless he knows it's gonna be a little bit more than that.
Energy.
And like, so how could he just kiss her and be like, "Okay, have a good night," and like walk out? I don't believe that.
I don't know.
I don't
a lot
buy
of,
that.
I know girls who've tried to kiss George, and George has moved away and been like, I thought we were friends.
Yeah,
that
but
has
he
happened
kissed
several
her.
times.
But he kissed her, so he probably knew she was about that life.
Here's
what
what
I'm
we do
saying.
know.
Do you-
Here's what
you
we
know
do
what I'm
know.
saying?
She dangled her legs on top of his.
Yeah, I mean, that's flirting, dude.
She
Like
tried to make
dangling?
it sound a little more innocent.
That's flirting.
She simply said that she just rested her legs on his, but we have that confirmation. Other than that,
That
we do
sounds
not know.
affectionate to
And
me.
some of the people
Yeah,
there
it
said
does.
stuff
And
happened.
inappropriate. Like for you to be the best friend of my sister and I have a child with this man, and for you to think that that's okay, you don't need to be in my space.
I almost think if she just said, "Hey, we got drunk and did it,"
right.
would be better
Yeah,
than
just
like,
be honest.
"Oh, I was just resting, hanging around at 7 a.m., putting my legs on him, kissing him innocently." That just sounds like there's more conversation, more affection.
You would have been better off just not saying anything.
You would have actually been better off not going there in
That
the first
too.
place.
That too. Like,
Why
why
are
would
you
you even
here?
want to go? And then she lied about what was going on there because I guess they asked her, like, who was there? Was there any other girls there? And she's like, straight up lied. And I was like, no, he wasn't doing anything. So that makes you look even worse.
Why was that a lie? We don't know if he was doing anything. There
No, I'm
were
saying like other
there,
girls being there. I'm pretty sure other girls were on him, but
but
for
we don't
her,
know. See, we're all assuming things.
No,
I don't
she
know.
said this on
Red table.
table.
yeah,
At the red table.
that Chloe asked about.
Yes.
And,
Other girls.
he wasn't doing anything. He was chilling, but you
But he
kissed
wasn't
him,
chilling.
girl, and you
He
were
wasn't
dangling
chilling.
your
He
legs.
kissed her.
Oh,
either
Allegedly.
way,
okay.
Don't we admire her for at least being bold enough to talk about it?
I actually, I'll be very frank. I watched the Red Table, Jada Pinkett show on Facebook with Jordyn Woods, and Jordyn, whose brother I'm very good friends with. I really like her brother, very good, and I know her mom very well. I know her family. Jordan's a great person, right? After a Red Table, I was like, this bitch is lying. Like after watching the
Yeah.
Red Table, before I found it credible until I watched her.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like the girl who was lying. And I'll tell you why. She didn't accept responsibility for her actions.
Okay.
She didn't just go, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been there. It's my fault. She tried to make it sound like her friends pressured her into going and she was drunk. And so were you too drunk to realize what was going on, or you weren't drunk and you did know what was going on? You can't play both sides. Then she threw in a couple things about being a black woman in there, things like that.
I
Now,
noticed that.
my
I
God.
noticed that.
sure.
you
And
can't
here's
say that.
Was
Here's
it
my
a
thing.
press op? Was
Here's
it
my thing.
interview?
I don't think so. I think she really wanted to clear. Listen, regardless of everything, these are her very good friends. And that friendship is a real friendship. It is a real friendship, whether it's based on necessity or it's based on intimacy or it's based on just an actual symbiosis. I don't know. But I do know that they're good friends and they work well together and it's a great relationship they have. I think that she went on the show to throw off, to tell her truth, but her truth came off as too polished and untrue.
Like a PR stunt.
It did. And that's unfortunate because I honestly I personally believe nothing happened. So where did they do anything? If Chloe's upset because Jordyn was there, she has the right to be. If she's upset that Jordyn flirted, she has the right to be. But if she thinks that something happened and there is no actual proof something happened, I can't be on board.
But also, Chloe has a good argument because she was saying, you're making this public interview and apology, but you haven't even called me and talked to me about it.
However, Jordyn has said she's several times reached out to them and they did
she
not.
has.
Because remember, she's also moved out of that. So it's not like she probably has tried. And I actually believe her on that.
I
as
believe
well.
Jordyn too. Yeah.
She's very
Yeah,
credible,
I
and
don't
I
think
believe
she
her.
would go without contacting them because they're so
They're so
involved in
instrumental to
everything.
her life, and she's
Yeah.
because her fame comes as a direct trickle down effect of their fame, and the bigger picture is she doesn't want to lose her place, and she's now known as a homewrecker.
Yeah, that's not.
She's known as a homewrecker, and she's not a homewrecker.
And then this is another thing. I hate that people are not punishing him as much as they're punishing her.
It's all
Right.
down
I'm
to
like,
her.
why are you guys so mean to her? What about him? There's
Yeah.
always
He actually just disabled his comment. So it's not that people aren't mad at him. It's they took out their anger on him the first time he got caught cheating. And now it's, Chloe, you knew who he was and you're still there.
But that's what I don't like about society is when the man is the one that does something wrong, it's always, well, it's your fault. You should have stayed. Instead of being like, no, it's still his fault. Yeah, you shouldn't have stayed, but never put the blame on the woman. And that's one thing I don't like, that a lot of the times in society, that's what they do. They always either, well, what were you doing wrong? Well, you weren't treating him right. That's why I was doing what I was doing, kind of thing, you know? And even when they get caught, it's always like, if you don't stay, then you're not a ride or die. If you decide to leave or whatever. And then if you decide to stay, then somebody can say, well, you chose to stay. You can't say anything. Now, either way, you're screwed. You're screwed either way. So, like, what do you really do? That's why people don't really understand. It's hard to be a woman.
Let's get into this concept. The concept is, was Jordyn Woods wrong?
I feel like ultimately it's your choice. But if I was in that position, I personally would have not been there. Because if that's my friend, I don't need to be there.
What if your friend was like, I want you to go to spy for me?
No. Because they don't believe you anyway.
I don't want to be y'all
them.
man. Shit, you go over there.
You hear that,
Figure it
George?
out.
I'm not
They
trying
don't
to
believe you. George loves being the messenger and the helper.
They don't believe
and
you
I tell
anyway.
him,
they think you're hating.
stop helping,
Just
bro.
don't
Do
say
not
no.
make
They
my
don't wanna be
problem.
saved.
Don't make your
because
problems
they know
my problem.
if you even feel the need to do all that, then you probably already have a feeling that it's
Right.
happening.
Then they
and your
axe
gut
you
never
out.
lies.
They
you don't need
axe
to
you
be
out.
with that person.
That's
if you're
where they
doing all
get the
that.
saying,
No.
don't kill the messenger. You know why? Because everyone kills the messenger.
messenger.
Right.
And if success is something that I love, why would I hate you for having success? This is Mr. GK, and these are my words of the week. And I think y'all haters out there need to hear it, right? You hate people or your friends when you see them elevate, when you see them do good. Why would you hate them if you would want the same success? Then you should just love them and be happy for
I
them.
get that. And I have a question for you, right? How do you feel about Trey Songz?
Trey Songz needs to back off, take 2 steps back.
But let me
Stop
take-
hitting up my girl.
Yo,
Wait,
let me explain.
Is that what happened?
I'm
All the time.
confused.
Trey Songz, for some reason, has like multiple girls George has talked to. Trey Songz has also tried
Yeah,
to slide in
and
the
I've
DMs.
seen him in the snap. Oh, why are you talking to that Drake looking mother? I'm like, yo, you made a song with Drake, homie.
Yo, so here's I love success, so why would I hate you for loving success? Well, logic would dictate I love pussy. Why would I hate you for
I'm
loving
going to tell you why.
pussy?
Because people hate the fact that you're a reflection of what they can't be, or it's too far for them to reach.
Bars.
So they rather hate on you and make them feel like, okay, maybe I'm not there because I'm this and this and that, like trying to make themselves feel better. But in reality, it's because you are a reflection of what they want to be that they have not accomplished.
Oh, cool, Nicole. Do you want to have the words of the week? You probably hang
that
out
was
with
well
Trey
said.
Songz. Is he in your
I
playlist?
don't.
Now, have
I
you
don't
ever
even
hung
like
out with Trey Songz?
celebrities.
Have you
But
ever
no,
hung
that
out with
was-
Trey Songz?
No.
In
I
all
don't like
seriousness, that
celebrities.
was well said.
Have you ever hung out with Trey Songz?
Not on that type of level, no.
Oh.
No, that's like
I was just taking pictures. I'm a photographer.
exactly.
So
I like Tina.
well, don't put yourself in a bad position, because if you do, don't be surprised when bad things happen. That's it. It's very
Well
simple.
said.
It's very simple. You put yourself in a bad position. Don't be surprised by the consequence of a bad action. That's what happens.
true.
Even whether it happened or not, doesn't matter. Like I said, the court of public opinion is very different than the court of law. You are not innocent until proven guilty. You are just guilty until proven innocent if.
Always.
So don't even leave that room. I don't think there'd be a situation where I would ever hang out with someone that you've dated.
Well, there would be a situation where someone who may want to hang out with both of us at once may try and hang out with us.
He's talking about one of our. We have a
just wanted
couple.
to roll her under
We
the
have a,
bus.
we have a couple. We have a couple listeners that love writing us and telling us how their fantasies are threesomes with us too, and we would never do.
Definitely never had that.
I would just never be in that situation.
Bridge?
Look who knows all this kind of stuff.
The lesbian.
Oh my god! so let's take this. Is there a situation, Nicole, where you would ever hang out with Tina's ex,
Never.
or vice versa?
Never. Like, I'm the type of girl, like, if she even tells me someone is remotely attractive, it's like even thinking about talking to that person, automatically off my radar.
What if you
There's
really
so
like
many
him?
guys out here. It doesn't matter.
I wouldn't mind that though. I'm like, girl,
No, but if you and I go out, right, and you're
FaceTime
like, oh,
me.
he's cute, and you've already kind of started a conversation, I'm not about to come in there and be like, hi, I'm Nicole, nice. No.
But what if he was like,
Girl code, man. It's girl code.
What's up with what's shorty right there? What's good?
Shorty's taken.
Yeah, like
out.
real talk.
See, the concept is you have to say shorty's taken instead of shorty's not
I
interested.
know, because you
Yeah.
can't just say I'm not
See?
interested. They won't leave you alone.
But-
well, why not?
But
why can't I just
honestly,
take
you know
out?
what I don't understand even beyond that, like exes and stuff? Why do some of my friends want to hang out with some of my friends, become
Right.
close? Find your own
weird.
friends.
That's kind of weird, right?
That's
yeah, like I
really
had this
weird.
one friend, he's like a music producer, and then like what he would do is like we had our issues, we weren't talking. And he was like hitting up all of my friends that I introduced him up to, hey, let's go get dinner. Or hey, yo, meet me in the studio. Or hey, we should link up. Like
That's weird.
you're not even talking to me. I introduced you to these people, and these people were close to me.
Yeah.
There's literally how many billion? 7 billion people in the world. Like y'all need to get your acts together, y'all. Like just find your own friends.
Yeah.
You could avoid all these issues, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relationship. If there's something that's already there and you don't already have a deep connection with their friend, why push for it? Why go try and build all of a sudden? What's the purpose?
You know what's interesting? Like, I feel like everyone's not built like that, though. Like, just because we have certain standards, and I wouldn't reach out to your friends because I have a certain level of respect.
Right.
Some people are just disrespectful.
Yeah.
you
That's
know?
disrespect,
It's
right?
disrespectful.
Yeah.
No sense of
Or like stay
loyalty.
friends with your ex after you break up. Like, no.
That's a
Like,
tough one
don't-
too, what you just said, because that's why I don't like blasting my relationship on social media.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Because when y'all break up or when something goes bad,
100%.
then
Oh, yeah.
all your friends are still going and liking her photos, and then you're gonna look crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that's why it's best to just keep all this stuff on offline. It gets so complicated.
That's how I used to be. I used to like be all excited and show the person. Now I'm like, nope. Private
Yeah.
life is the best life.
You see this bracelet right here?
I agree.
Yeah, it's evil eye.
It's not for everybody.
It's not.
So the final say in this situation is, this could have been avoided if she simply did not go.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be
And-
having this conversation.
And to piggyback off what Tehran said is, and I love what he said about if you put yourself in a situation, expect the consequences that come with it. And we need to be more aware of that when we do things to just humor our egos or to pass time, or sometimes we're not even intending to, but we need to be more alert. We need to see what a situation looks like from the outside. We got to consider other people than ourselves. And an era of a selfie, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. We need to stop and think for the relationships we care about and friendships we care about, how things look from the outside, and more so, even deeper than that, how things feel from the outside. We've gotten to be too dismissive of people. And these are my new words of the week because my other ones were debunked by the panel. Thank you. Thank you, Tehran.
We appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Before we go, we want to ask, is there advice that you would give men to become better men in this particular situation? We sat there and unfortunately we had to speak about Jordyn because she's the one who spoke up. But what is the advice that you give all the Tristans in the world?
Honestly, I think it's really simple. Like, if you think about how you would want to be treated in that situation, you would probably move a little bit differently.
Treat others as you want to be treated yourself. The golden rule.
Golden rule. I've
It's
heard
so
that in a
cliche,
while.
but it's so true.
It's very interesting.
For me, I think that there's someone for everyone. So if you're into the swinger lifestyle and into being private with one person or having an open relationship, I think instead of making yourself to adjust to someone else's relationship that you're trying to be with, and just find out what is it that you like. If you don't want to be in a serious relationship, then just date around. But if you decide to be in a serious relationship, like, find the person who's for you instead of trying to make yourself be who you're not. Maybe Tristan's just not a faithful man. Maybe he just likes to have sex with everybody. Like, everybody's different, but I'm just saying, be honest about it. Be honest with yourself and know what it is that you're looking for, and then just go from there. Instead of, if you have urges to have sex with random people, don't pressure yourself to be in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
You know, just be honest with yourself.
That's real. That's real. Thank you so much for
insight.
being on the show.
Thank you.
Before we go, really quick, our Imperfect Gentleman of the Week is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. If you're not familiar with the notorious AOC, she is New York's 14th District Congressional Representative for parts of the Bronx and Queens. The way she questioned Michael Cohen was genius. I don't care what anyone says, especially for a person, they're mocking her background, but especially without that training, she was able to do that. kudos for her, regardless of what your political affiliation is. And being only 29 in a Congress, like in Congress, she deserves boss.
Is this the same person I see all the dance videos?
Yes, the dance video. Honestly,
I thought it was a great video.
Yeah. Definitely from Detroit. Definitely from Detroit. So that's what it is. Where can people find you if you want to be found?
You can look me up on Instagram, Nicole Arjomand. My last name is a little hard. ARJOMAND. Or you can call Tehran.
I am Miss Tina Reeves on Instagram, or you can check out my website, Tina Reeves Visuals. I'm a real photographer.
I'm definitely going to check that out. That's what's up. Tina Reeves Visuals. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Of course, I am Tehran all across the board. That's IAMTEHRAN. The impeccable, the impenetrable, the only one, alongside
Mr. George Corey. And luckily, I have someone to spell my last name for me.
KHOURI.
I love it when
we
you do
are
that.
Imperfect Gentlemen. Remember, nobody's perfect but us. Yo, my man Martin holding the steady cam the whole time like a G.
Steady cam Martin.
We're out. We'll catch you guys same Imperfect
Follow
Gentlemen
Steady Cam.
time, same Imperfect channel next week.
We out here.